All right. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to our second installment of Office Hours Live, what has been, is, and will be our weekly address to all of you, our casual Ask Me Anything style hangout. Feel free to share, tell your friends whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch right now. We are here, the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce. Excited to answer your questions, talk business, talk veterans issues, talk business issues, basically anything. If you're a veteran, military family member, if you're a business owner, if you're an employee, anybody across the board in the state of Wisconsin and heck, maybe in parts of Illinois, we'll let you in. That's fine. Maybe parts of Minnesota. I don't know. As long as you're not a Bears fan or something, we're good. This will be relevant to you. So we appreciate you being here. Welcome. So again, this is Office Hours Live brought to you by Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce. And I am excited today to have a guest. Greg is the CEO, the founder of Burn Pit BBQ. Greg Fischer. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Adam. Hey, thanks for having me on.
Right on. And Greg has a very, very interesting story. If you're involved in the veteran community here in the state of Wisconsin and beyond, you may be familiar with his story. It's really incredible how he got to be where he is today. And we're going to get to that in a second. But first, I want to introduce our fearless leader, who this time around is not the only one wearing a collar. See, I classed it up. Our executive director, Saul Newton.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Saul.
What's going on? Do you have any, before we dive into all the craziness, do you have any words of wisdom you want to share before we chat with Greg Fischer about his journey?
I don't think so. The thing that I'm really reading and absorbing today is a report from the Syracuse University Institute for Veterans and Military Families. They conducted the first national survey of military affiliated entrepreneurs. And I just found it today, and it's really comprehensive and contains a lot of really good information and data points about what attracts military veterans to business ownership and entrepreneurship, what some of the challenges that they face are, and where we see gaps in services. And so if anybody is really interested in kind of taking a more macro look at what it's like for veterans and service members to start businesses of their own, I would really recommend this.
Right on. That's excellent. Hey, if you want to share that link in the chat, that'll actually go across to all of our folks who are looking at it. I also just shared a link there for those of you that are interested in following us across all social networks, folks. We give you a little bit of everything in each network. It's not just a simul post of the same stuff in every network. So we bring a little something different to the table. We wear a different hat per network. So please follow us across all networks. And if you have any questions during this, whether you are on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, soon to be LinkedIn when we add this to our live stream, just throw it in the comments. We'll answer your questions in real time. The last thing that I want to share before we dive in is we are proud users of StreamYard. StreamYard is really amazing. It's the platform that allows us to be able to simultaneously broadcast to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and beyond. And eventually, once Instagram starts being difficult to work with, as they are notorious for doing, we'll stream there live as well. So I'm going to share a link. If you follow that link, it shares you information on registering for StreamYard. If you're interested in getting into the live world, if you get into the live world via that link and do a paid service, that helps out the Veterans Chamber. So I'm going to share that here. But I'm going to go ahead and zip my lips and transition over to Greg Fischer. Greg, let's talk about the now. You're the founder of a younger stage business that's off and running and catching fire and doing amazing. Tell us about Burn Pit BBQ, and then we'll talk about how you got there.
Oh, sure. So I started Burn Pit BBQ in August with one of my friends. So I'm the co-founder, and we started just developing content around grilling and barbecuing. And then we developed some products. So we recently released 5 barbecue rubs and seasonings. and we've been kind of often running into that space.
Right on. And you have apparel too.
Yeah, so I got a little bit on today.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't get the memo about wearing a collar, so I got my
didn't last week. Yeah. I was wearing a hoodie last week. I like your apparel. I really do.
Thanks.
Didn't you make a shirt based off that viral video of the guy that interrupted that news conference, just screaming about the election?
Yeah.
We won't get into politics stuff, but like the shirt he was. Which one was that?
I believe it was beer, BBQ, and freedom. Yeah. So that wasn't ours initially, but I saw that and I created our own version of that, and that's one of our top sellers. But yeah, so we do apparel as well. It's not just rubs and seasonings. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts, that kind of stuff for those that want to maybe dabble a little bit more into the apparel side of things.
I actually have your beanie with the little leather Burn Pit BBQ logo.
Nice.
On my Christmas list. And I don't know. I hope somebody's listening. If you're a member of my family, it's on my list. I want it bad. But so was it your lifelong ambition to sell barbecue seasonings, to have Burn Pit BBQ? Because you came from corporate world to this.
Yeah.
Like you were a heavy hitter in Northwestern Mutual corporate world, like the man. And then
I wouldn't say that.
I'm not going to do that anymore, and I'm going to do this. It was an abrupt, for people that maybe were looking from the outside looking in, it was a kind of an abrupt transition. So what got you to Northwestern Mutual, or the corporate life, and what brought you to where you are now?
Yeah, that's a great question, and one I get kind of a lot, because if people know me, it seemed like maybe a snap type of decision to leave my job, my stable job during the pandemic. But I got started at Northwestern Mutual right out of college. So I served in the military from 2002 to 2006, and then I went to school using my GI Bill, and I always admired Northwestern Mutual for, the organization that they are. And I started there out of college and just kind of worked my way around to different opportunities and different really careers within a career. And, after 10 years, I hit my 10-year mark back in July. I kind of just did a reevaluation of everything I'd done up until that point. Now, if you told me I was going to go into insurance or the insurance industry after being in the Marine Corps for 4 years, I would have told you were crazy, right? So leaving the corporate world to go and do my own thing was probably not as risky as me actually leaving the Marine Corps and going into insurance.
Right on. So that had to have been a pretty frightening jump, though, like going from the stability of a 10-year career in corporate America to a small business. Like what sort of courage did you have to develop to do that? Or like how did you set yourself up for that transition?
Yeah. So it didn't happen overnight. I didn't plan for like the timing of it. I'd say I was probably just a good planner as far as having my finances in order and things like that. That really allowed me the opportunity to, when I actually made the decision in my mind to make that leap. But it was a lot of honest conversations with my spouse. I was the main income earner, so to speak, and benefits were through me and my employer. So it was going to really take a team decision to really see what was best for our family. So having those open conversations with my wife really helped. And she was totally on board 100%. She knew as soon as I told her I was thinking about leaving that there probably wasn't a good chance of me going back after I kind of started to make that transition in my mind already. But just some of those things that when you ever talk to a financial advisor, they tell you to put things in place in case of an emergency. Well, I kind of flipped that up on its head and said, well, what if I fire my employer instead of kind of waiting for me just sitting here to see what happens?
Right on.
To try it out and see how far I can take this thing. Because I've always enjoyed grilling and barbecuing, and I had some side businesses in the past, and I felt that if I was really going to go and pursue this, I needed to kind of cut my ties and burn the boat, so to speak.
It's amazing. What have you learned from making that transition that maybe you didn't expect? Like, is there wisdom that you discovered, things that you learned that are important or are not important, especially launching a business in what ended up being the heels of a global pandemic? Like, what lessons did you learn that might have been surprising?
The biggest thing and the biggest eye opener for me is, once you get outside of that environment and you're out on your own, it's not as scary. Obviously, I still have anxiety. I still have things that I worry about, especially with 3 young boys, health insurance, healthcare. So having somebody to help navigate that, I had some people in my corner that helped me there. But just the opportunities that are out there. I know we're in the midst of a global pandemic, but the business opportunities and the other things that kind of came my way after I made that decision probably wouldn't have found me if I was still, within my corporate position.
Right on. What advice would you have for an aspiring business owner, or veteran or no, who may have the ambition to launch something and maybe is hesitant just due to the economy or the pandemic or anything, or maybe they think that it's a scary transition? Like, what advice would you have for someone that has entrepreneurial ambitions?
I think the biggest thing is that everybody tries to wait for the perfect time. Now, for me, leaving during a pandemic might have added a little something to it, but there's always going to be that next thing. So whether or not it's a pandemic, whether it's not a recession, there's always going to be that next thing that's going to, make people hesitant to try this. And the other piece of advice I would say is, what's the worst that could happen? For me, I know that I'm still very young in this journey, but the worst thing that could happen to me is that, okay, I tried, I failed, and now I go and I find a career somewhere or a position somewhere else. So to me, the risk was more so on the mental side. If I stayed in my current position, I felt that was more of a risk for me than me going out and trying this and failing.
Right on. I think that's good advice overarchingly. So, just go for it. You got YOLO, right? As the kids are saying, right? Or maybe they're not. I think
was that like 10 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, geriatric millennials are saying that, and I think they're still hip. Okay. Well, that is good advice. Folks, we're here with Greg Fischer, who's the founder of Burn Pit BBQ. If you're active on LinkedIn, especially in the veteran community, you've definitely seen Greg and the things that he's been up to. I would encourage you to follow him, follow Burn Pit BBQ, buy their stuff. I just recently saw that you had, and let me add, if you have questions for Greg, doesn't matter what platform you're on, please throw it in the chat. We'll answer them to the best of our ability in real time, whether it's for Greg, myself, Saul, anything. Ask us about business, veteran stuff, benefits, sports. We don't care. We'll try to avoid politics, though. Please, can we just have 30 seconds of respite from politics in our lives? That would be fantastic. But anything else we'll answer. Okay. But anyways, Greg, you recently had some ridiculously good review action on YouTube. Was that a surprise for you? And what benefits have you seen from kind of the more widespread, very visual endorsements you've gotten for your products?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So for us, our initial marketing strategy has been really through social media. We haven't really been doing paid advertising or marketing, so to speak, just yet. So all of this stuff has been organic for us. And we didn't know that individual, Tom, his name, as I got to know him a little bit after he put those reviews together, but he had gotten our products through one of his family members. So it was kind of a third degree separation. And he goes and he has his own YouTube channel, which has about 20,000 subscribers. And they did a review of our products. And, that was totally unexpected by us. We had no idea he was going to do that and post that out there. So obviously I reached out to him and said, thank you. And we saw some orders and some things come through from there, but just again, what's really important for us at this stage is just the brand awareness and getting our name out there, and having a platform like that where somebody organically comes across our product and likes it. That was huge for us. And we're so thankful that it got into his hands, and then he was able to share that with others.
It's really cool, and you're being super humble about it. But I mean, I'll sing your praises. The YouTube video said this is a guy that reviews barbecue and has a channel about barbecue, and he said it was, I believe he said it was the best or one of the best that he's ever had. This rub mix that you have with Burn Pit BBQ. So that's great. DeAndre Grant says, "Congrats, Greg. Good to see a fellow veteran and former Northwestern Mutual coworker."
Yeah, I know DeAndre. Hey, thanks for watching.
Excellent. So that is a good segue into something that I've really been interested in asking you. You mentioned that you're not doing paid Facebook advertising. We all know that once you start paying for Facebook ads, you can't stop. You got to keep going. Otherwise, everything that you try to do organically after that, Facebook is gonna throttle back. So you're trying to do organic growth right now. How important, and Bill, I see your question, Bill Miles. That's a good question. We'll get to that here in a second. How, as you're trying to build your business and your platform and your notoriety organically, how important is community for you? And how do you add that personal touch to make sure that people have an investment in your products and in your brand?
That's huge. Community is huge. When we first started to launch these, like what we were going to sell, we really tried to engage our followers on our social media platforms to ask them questions, get their buy-in and feedback. And then we've been making the rounds at local artisan fairs that are still in person. So we actually get to get out in front of people and tell our story and tell what's different or unique about our product. Everything's all natural. It's, we bottle everything here in Wisconsin, so everything's local, and we try to keep it that way. Just by being able to share that and be authentic with our audience about who we are and how we got started, I think it's helped to kind of build that trust with our potential clients and our customers. And we want to continue that with each step of the way. So while we're not doing paid marketing or advertising right now, it'll probably come in the future here so we can reach new audiences. But right now we're really focused on going all in on the people that have been with us since the beginning.
Right on. And as you transition into paid Facebook advertising, I can't recommend this book highly enough. I'm not on this guy's payroll, but I'm telling you, 1 Million Followers by Brendan Kane. Fantastic book. I've been singing this book's praises for a million years. The guy's great, and it's really important. And he talks about basically Facebook ad sets. So, Bill, I want to get to your question. This is for Greg. Can you make a CBD rub? Is that world in your future?
It's something we're excited about. We don't have anything in the hopper just yet, but we are doing some sauces, and eventually, long term, that's something that we're going to be looking at. Can we get some infused sauces, some rubs? Now that's a whole new ball game when it comes to FDA approval and bottling, especially in the state of Wisconsin where that stuff's not legal yet. So it's on our radar, and something that actually gets us fired up pretty much because I don't think anybody out there is doing that right now.
Right, like a CBD infused barbecue rub or sauces.
Right.
Outstanding. Well, that's pretty cool. I'd never considered that. What is so in addition to that, and it'll be interesting to see just from like a federal and state regulation standpoint is concerned. It'll be very interesting to see where we are a year, 5, 10 years from now. But aside from that, what does the future of Burn Pit BBQ, what does the future hold for you guys? A year from now, let's say you've accomplished everything you've set out to accomplish. What do you look like in a year?
So I quit my full-time job, and I have a buddy that's went in 50-50 with me who's still working. So ideally, we grow this thing to where he can quit his job and we can sustain our families on this business. But we hope to have, or we do have 3 sauces that are being produced right now. So we hope to have those available for consumers here by probably by the first of the year. We'll be launching those. So in addition to that, we're looking to get on additional platforms. So we're looking at our own YouTube channel. We're looking at paid sponsorships. Hopefully that's down the road for us. And then just continuing to build the community and the content. Ultimately, we're here for the people that we serve, and making sure that we stay true to that, and whatever the people tell us they need or want, we hope to follow that and stick with them as long as they stick with us.
And TikTok stardom too, right?
That's still one platform I'm not comfortable with. I'll post some things out there, but they're not that great, and I don't know if I'm going to get out there and I'm going to start dancing or not, but I don't know.
I think it'd be a good business move. If for those of you that are watching, if you would like to see Greg Fischer dance on TikTok, please let us know in the comments. Otherwise, want to let you know that we're multicasting across Facebook right now. If you're not following our Facebook page, Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce, please do so. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe, and then click the little bell there so you get alerts when we post new videos, because we do outside of even just these live streams. And if you want to see the rest of this video, so you missed a portion of it, we're living on in perpetuity here. Our video content is on our YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe to us there. And Twitch, we're new to Twitch. We're not really sure what's going to happen with Twitch, but we know streaming content is the future, and Twitch is diversifying away from just video games. Who knows? Maybe Saul and I will have like a Friday night where we play old school military-based video games and make fun of them on Twitch. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But if you're on Twitch, give us a follow over there. Why not? What have you got to lose? But I'll add one more time. Scroll up in the comments. You'll see that we've got a link to all of our social networks. You can follow us there. And if you also want to be cool like us and multi-stream across various platforms at the same time with ease, follow the link that we put up in the comments there to our StreamYard referral. It helps us out if you end up doing a program through them, but otherwise it's great software. Pretty incredible stuff. So Greg, I really appreciate you sharing your story and your time with us today. Saul, do you have any additional questions or thoughts for Greg or anything else?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for taking the time to share your story with us. And to be able to kind of share the ins and the outs of starting a business from the ground up. And congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, big stuff happening right now for Burn Pit BBQ. Is that burnpitbbq.com, Greg?
Yeah, burnpitbbq.com. And
then also on Facebook and all over the place. So make sure you follow them. Big things happening and big things in the future. Appreciate your time, Greg. And thank you, everybody, for watching this live stream brought to you, Office Hours Live, brought to you by the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce. You all have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you same time, same place next week.